It and It Chapter 2 are among the most successful horror movies of the past decade. More than 2 years have passed since Chapter 2, so it came as something of a surprise when Jeff Sneider announced via The Anchor that an It series was in the works. The series is to be titled Welcome to Derry and will function as a prequel to the two movies. The time period is set between the 1960s and 1980s and will smoothly transition into the two movies at the end of the series. There's not much information about the series, and it is not known in which form we will see It. In the movies, we already see him in other forms as Pennywise, and in the books, there are considerably more ghoulish characters that It could take on. Behind the scenes, Andy and Barbara Muschietti serve as producers, the former having already directed both movies. Also, screenwriter Jason Fox is no stranger because he already participated in It Chapter 2 in the role of Richie's manager. By the way, Andy Muschietti will once again take a seat in the director's chair for the pilot episode. It is still unknown who is scheduled to take over after that. It is also unclear when the series will be released. We're still waiting for an official confirmation from Warner Bros. This year, we can look forward to House of the Dragon, the latest and overall second Game of Thrones series. After a good 3 years since the end of the less popular 8th season of the main series, it's soon time to dive into the past. As we've known for some time, the 10-episode series takes place a good 200 years before the original. The focus is on the rise and fall of the House of Targaryen and the battle for supremacy in Westeros, as can be seen from the official synopsis. Namely, the succession to the throne is unclear and coveted by both King Viserys' son and his daughter. All the confusion eventually triggers a civil war, also known as the Dance of the Dragons in the Game of Thrones universe. Joining the cast are Paddy Considine as King Viserys I, Emma Darcy as his firstborn daughter Rhaenyra Targaryen, and Matt Smith as Daemon Targaryen. We also see Olivia Cook as Rhaenyra's stepmother Alicent Hightower and Rhys Ifans as Otto Hightower, Alicent's father and the king's right-hand man. We also get a fresh look from new images that show a hatching dragon egg as well as various characters. The script is written by Hercules author Ryan Condal and none other than George R.R. Martin, who of course also wrote the book. By the way, there were first hints about the start date recently on the website of actress Emma Darcy's agency, where there was talk of August 2022 before the info was quickly deleted again. Shortly thereafter, the series launch was also officially announced by HBO. Accordingly, House of the Dragon will be released on August 21st, 2022. Hasbro's Ignite event titled Innovation Showcase 2022 recently took place. There, the toy manufacturer mainly presented new projects for investors and shareholders, including news about the Transformers franchise. Hasbro released a new poster, the center of which incidentally strongly resembles the Matrix of leadership. In addition, Vice President Jenny Whitlock gave a brief update on the movie. According to her, the movie will be set after the events of Bumblebee and will tell the story of Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and a group of human allies. They all have to stand up to the beasts, making a dream of Transformers followers finally come true. Fans of the 90s series Beast Wars in particular are likely to look forward to the return of Optimus Primal, Airazor, and co. In any case, we are also looking forward to the new Transformers Rise of the Beasts. The movie is scheduled for release on June 9th, 2023. Last Sunday, the annual Academy Awards took place for the 94th time in Los Angeles. After last year's event pretty much flopped, this year the Oscar ceremony was the talk of the town. The reason? Will Smith, who slapped comedian Chris Rock in the face due to a joke against his wife. But that's not what we're here to talk about, because as every year, we'll briefly introduce you to the most important winners of the Oscars. This year, Coda won the award for Best Picture. The Apple TV Plus movie was sent into the race for the most important prize relatively late, but then it did win the Oscar. Beforehand, many experts agreed that the Netflix movie The Power of the Dog had the best chances of winning the prize, but were wrong in the end. However, Jane Campion won the award for Best Director for this movie. On the actor side, Will Smith for King Richard and Jessica Chastain for The Eyes of Tammy Faye cleaned up the top prize in the Best Lead Actor category. The Best Supporting Actors were Troy Kotsur for Coda and Ariana DeBose for West Side Story. Other winning movies included Encanto for Best Animated Film, Drive My Car for Best International Film, and Summer of Soul for Best Documentary. Both West Side Story and Belfast were nominated in a total of 7 categories, but could win only one each. The winner of the evening, however, at least by numbers, was the science fiction hit Dune, which took home 6 Oscars. The categories include Best Original Score, Best Sound, and Best Cinematography. We are curious to see what the sequel will also celebrate success in the main categories at the Oscars in 2024. Last Tuesday, sad news reached the Hollywood world. Bruce Willis ends his acting career. This was announced by the family of the 67-year-old in a short message. The reason is said to be aphasia, which is a kind of speech disorder. This decision, which the family made public shortly after Willis' birthday, had been considered carefully, which is why it can be assumed that the actor has been suffering from the disease for some time. To this day, Bruce Willis is primarily associated with the Die Hard film series, which gave him his big breakthrough in the 1980s. He's considered one for Hollywood's biggest action stars, even though his last years were marked by many B-movies. Either way, he will sorely be missed as an iconic actor, and we wish him all the best. Many children of the 90s should be familiar with the Spy Kids franchise because the family movie by Robert Rodriguez released in 2001 has become iconic. There are already a total of 4 movies and even an animated series, and as we learned this week, another movie is currently in the planning stages. As Deadline reports, Netflix is planning a reboot of the children's movie series, and as with every previous movie, Rodriguez will once again take his seat in the director's chair. Together with him, Netflix thus wants to raise Spy Kids to a contemporary level, which should certainly please many. In addition, the 53-year-old Rodriguez is still the screenwriter and producer of the movie at the same time. He and Netflix have also already proven that they can work well together, as the 2020 children's superhero movie We Can Be Heroes was also directed by him. Of course, we shouldn't expect a familiar cast to return as the title is Spy Kids. After all, some of the kids from the first part are already over 30 and don't quite pass for kids anymore. In any case, we're looking forward to Robert Rodriguez's new Spy Kids movie. A release date is unfortunately not yet known. Only recently, the news went through the world that Amazon has bought MGM. It looks like the first series project for the coveted James Bond series, which now also belongs to Amazon, is already planned. However, 007's Road to a Million is not a story series about the movies, but a kind of reality TV in which various candidates have the opportunity to win £1 million. They have to duel each other both physically and mentally at well-known locations from the franchise. The selection process is still underway, so a start date is not yet known. The anticipation among fans doesn't seem to be all that great, considering the reactions to the announcement. Apart from filming locations, 007's Road to a Million doesn't seem to have much to do with the movie series. We hope you enjoyed our news again this time. We also have some other exciting videos for you on our channel this week. Be sure to check out the second trailer for Minions 2 or the latest preview for a possible Moana 2 movie if you haven't watched it already.